What's up, everyone? We are back on Pound for Pound. I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C.
A Shot Line production.
UFC 308, 308, as some people like to say, went down last night. And not last night, yesterday. Let's just say that. And Henry, it was a fantastic slash funky finish fight card. Don't you think?
Yeah, so are you saying it's funky because of the RDA situation, the Barnett situation?
Yes, a couple of
Yeah.
couple of injuries, like weird injuries in there where it leads me to believe like are guys coming in before into these fights before they should, especially if they're coming off of injuries. Like the Chris Barnett, I think that fight was rescheduled once or twice
Hmm.
due to some injury. They said something about he had an Achilles injury and he came back 3 months. No, an Achilles, you out for a while. And he did that spinning kick or whatever reverse kick, back heel, and next thing you know, he couldn't even stand up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of come into play, but don't you notice that when something happens to somebody, something like the trend tends to follow? Like that one time where I forgot who got eye poked and they pulled out of the fight, and next you know it, I'm curious to see the whole statistic. How there's like at least 6 or 7 eye pokes in that year that people did not fight because they got eye poked. So sometimes I don't know what to call that because I know Dana White was asked about Barnett and he was just said he's fine, like it was some tissue stuff. And then obviously with RDA, I know RDA is fucking tough as hell, dude. But he also went up against a freaking killer too. So unfortunately, though, Kamaru, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, you fans, I didn't get a chance to see the majority of the fight card because my kid's first birthday. Happy birthday to my son Enzo. You know, we celebrated out here in Phoenix, Arizona, on top of Camelback Mountain. We had Olympic champions show up, world champions show up, billionaires show up. So it was cool, man. So I was busy with that, and you know how it is. I don't know if you had a big birthday for your daughter when she turned 1, but it's like the biggest birthday party ever, dude. Because you want to show off your kid. A lot of people have never seen your kids, so I think it was just awesome. So, but I did get a chance to see that damn main card. So, talking about that, man. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. What do you think of Max
Taporia,
Holloway and
Taporia,
yeah? What do you think
Taporia.
of? Go ahead, Kush. Take it from there, dude. I'm like stuttering, dude.
Ilia Taporia. I've said it. I think and I think now people are starting to see. He opened a lot of eyes. He's every so often there comes a guy and a fighter that just is a disruptor, disrupts what's the norm, what's going on, what's happening, and that's Ilia Taporia. I've said it. His balance is incredible. How he's able to be. That was so gangster at the beginning of the fight. That was what gangsters do. He said, "All right, you like to point to the center. Let me see if you could do that at the beginning of the fight, not the end of
Yep.
the fight. Do it at the beginning." My man walks out, points to the center, stands there, and Max says, "Happily, I would decline." And the fight takes place, and the balance of Ilia Taporia to be able to box as fluent as he is, he's always in position to throw because he's always grounded and he's always able to change levels and get in if he needs a shot to take you down. So, man, this kid is special and I think people are starting to see it. It's just something about guys that are special like that. When guys just like when Conor McGregor came in, he was special. You could tell when guys disruptors like this come in, they change the sport in a certain type of way. So I that's where I see Ilya, and I said it. I said, hey, I love Max. I think Max is a phenomenal fighter, one of the best ever in that featherweight division. And Ilia Taporia just went out there and did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. You know what, Kamaru? Like, I know I know you talked about him winning, but I definitely did call it, and I said roll the damn tape. I did say that I don't think Max Holloway gets to the championship rounds with this dude because this guy has power. And Max was doing a really good job at keeping Ilia in the uppercut range. Because as you notice, like Ilia was getting caught with those jabs from Max. Max's reach is crazy. And obviously he's the longer opponent. But I also feel like once Ilia started catching him with that overhand, he was countering Max, so he was just throwing it. I was like, all right, man, he's getting closer and closer and closer. And the reality is that the range where Ilia is super dangerous is the uppercut range. So as soon as Max Holloway lost the discipline of allowing this dude to get too close, that's when he got burned. He should have kept him at the jab, or he should have kept him at kicking range. But once he allowed that dude to come just a couple inches, a few inches, which is crazy, just a few inches closer, then he was able to get that left hook. Boom! That hurt him, and then the rest was absolutely history. I mean, Ilia Topuria has had an amazing year, Kamaru, and I think it would be silly for us to not give him Fighter of the Year over a guy like Alex Pereira. I'm going to tell you why. Ilia Topuria beat 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. Alexander Volkanovski, who was a former pound-for-pound king, and then obviously everybody knows what a guy like Max Holloway has done. So you know what? I'm going to say it right now because I know you jumped on that Alex Pereira bandwagon. Alex Pereira, move out the way. There's a BMF and there's a Fighter of the Year, and his name is Ilia Topuria.
Why are you such an Alex Pereira hater though? Why are you just Alex Pereira hater, bro?
No.
I get it. There's just some fighters you just don't like. But damn, you just don't like this guy. Listen, I agree with you in the sense that Ilia Topuria is Fighter of the Year. I agree with you because you talk about strength of schedule. Yes, he's only fought twice, where Alex Pereira has fought 3 times. But when you're able to go in there and you're able to finish 2 guys, 2 of the best ever in the division that are arguably pound for pound the best fighters in the world, I think you make a pretty damn good case for you. And wait, not only just beat them, finish them within 3.
Yep.
I think that I think it's clear that Ilia Topuria is the 2024 Fighter of the Year.
Woo! I agree with that. Kamaru's agreeing with me, ladies and gentlemen.
But listen. Why you hate Alex Pereira like that? I can't. Wait. You know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. We're gonna slide. Let me see something about Alex Pereira gonna come back up. Let me just see. But
yeah.
I agree with you.
But just to go back, that's not that I'm hitting on Alex Pereira. It's just I want people to know, man, like what Ilia has done. No, I think Alex Pereira's got the best striking right now, even ahead of a guy like Ilia Topuria, because he kicks. He's more diverse with his punch. He kicks. He's more diverse with his striking. Where if Ilia doesn't necessarily knock you out with his hands, then it's different. But let's go back and talk about who it's quality versus quantity. The quality of who Ilia beat, first ballot Hall of Famers, to the quantity of Alex Pereira beating Khalil Roundtree, the number 8th rank that will not be inducted to the Hall of Fame. Jamal Hill with an Achilles tendon injury.
Still fighting.
Yeah. But I mean, as of right now, I'm talking about these guys already solidified. Jamal Hill, who comes back a year plus from an Achilles injury, and then the Ilia, and it's not Alex's fault. And a guy like Yuri Prochazka, who he already beat. The what Ilia has done, if anything, man, I just want to make sure that he gets respect. And I think the biggest thing with me, Kamaru, because I like Alex Pereira. I've partied with this dude. Like, I've gone out with this dude back when we were both single, man. You know, I remember I brought him out on a date when I had a date at that damn time. I mean, we became cool before he became Alex Pereira.
Obviously, you didn't have a good time because, damn.
I did what I did. I don't know about him, but that being said, I think as an analyst, Kamaru, like, I got to be real with myself and with you guys. And I think that's the biggest thing. Do I believe Alex Pereira is number 2? Yes. I will put Alex Pereira at number 2 other than Ilia. And you know how close I am to Khabib and all these other guys. And I will put a guy like Islam at number 3. And I'm going to go as far as potentially even putting Ilia after this next victory, when he does beat Volkanovski again, he could go in there and literally steal that pound for pound crown, dude. I really do. I really do believe that.
Yeah, it's a tough.
He's finishing everybody.
It's a very
Kamaru.
very tough. It's a very tough debate. To say who's pound for pound right now, because how do you move a guy like Islam, John Jones, and Alex Pereira out of that?
Well, Jones will
So,
be gone. Jones is retiring after this fight.
well, that's after as we're speaking. As far as on Wednesday when the new rankings come out, I think, yeah, Ilia Topuria is at number 4 spot, but that could flip very quickly for him to
Oh,
be number
okay,
1.
so
So
Elia's number 4 as of right now. Is that how the pound for pound rankings go?
I don't know. Maybe he's top 5. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think
but
so. But
I mean,
he's definitely there. So
I mean, can you remember? Like, honestly, the person that I can remember that's gone through that's being 2 guys. Honestly, it's myself, dude. Demetrius Johnson, a win over him, and then a win over TJ. 'Cause at that time, they're the best of my generation. And yeah, I did have a close fight with Demetrius, split decision. And then obviously,
Ilia's
I
3rd, right? Alexander Pantoja's 4th. But anyways, what's next for Ilia Topuria? I think as a fighter, I would give him either Diego Lopez, Musvar Ivloev, or Alexander Volkanovski.
okay. So
I
Alexander Volkanovski would be your 3rd pick to fight a guy like Ilya.
mm,
You just said Lopez.
I
You
would
said
say
Iloyev, and then
I would say
you want new blood, right?
second. I would say second. I would say maybe Lopez, because Lopez has come in there and he has been running through guys. He doesn't say no to fights, and he's running through guys. So right now, if all the new guys are hot, let them out there go to battle and prove and set themselves apart and prove that they are the new stars in their division, just like Ilia Topuria is doing right now. Because before Ilia Topuria got that title fight, he was relatively still kind of unknown. Can we agree on that? It was still he.
I had my eyes on that dude. That dude was
Yeah,
vicious and
but my
beating
God,
Hoto.
he had
Oh,
4
dude.
fights. I believe 4 fights in the UFC, 4 or 5 fights. They weren't all finishes, and so it's. I don't believe they were all finishes. I think there was a decision in there, but I do know he was sleeping guys. So no,
Okay.
bottom line is I don't mind. I don't mind whether it's Diego or I don't mind whether it's Volk. I think Volk isn't Volk coming off of, is it 3 back to back to back finishes, or is it just 2 finishes?
Yeah,
I think
Volk
it's
two
let's look
two.
that up. I think it's
He got finished by Islam, then he got finished by Ilia Topuria.
yeah,
I
Topuria, and he
personally
got
think
finished.
they're doing
So
that just out of respect for Volkanovski. You know what I'm saying? Just out of what he's done, and I get it. But does he
who do you
deserve that
think is
next?
next?
I think it should be Volk, just based on the merit and what he's done. The
So
title
you agreeing
defenses.
that it should be out of respect?
Yeah, because there's nobody else at 145 pounds that I could see that's really. I mean, yeah, Diego Lopez did, but he also did lose to, his debut to Iloev, to the Russian, and he did lose over a year ago to that dude. So he does have an
Who?
L there, but because there's
Who?
nobody really there's not a really clear cut in my eyes, a clear cut winner at 145 pounds. Because even Iloev, man, like he doesn't fight that often. He's not, and his style is not very fan favorite. But if you want to know the most competitive fight that could potentially even give him a run for his money out of all those at 145 pounds, it is Iloev. Just because it's based on grappling. The dude is strong. The dude's gonna go in there and he's gonna stick to his guns and just wrestle.
I agree, but my man, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Ilia Topuria, Ilia Topuria. So I'm gonna say
Yeah, no, of course.
it,
Do I
it's
believe he beats him? No, but do I believe he could be the most competitive match? One hundred percent, Kush.
I do think so, because most far if Loev is very is a grappler heavy, talented, young, strong, hungry, and has been working on his striking. He's getting a lot better. He's getting a lot better.
But
But I
but
honestly, now let me finish. As a company, that's me as a fighter and wanting to see fights. But as a company for the UFC, Very rarely do you get a disruptor like this that everything is aligned. He's good looking. Pause. He talks well. He looks the part. He acts the part. Now he's getting better at selling the fights because he's a really good dude. Nice dude. But yes, when he gets in front of that mic, when he's talking about fights, he comes off brash, kind of like overconfident, but he's delivering. He comes off in that way. But that's all the recipe of what you need of a disruptor, of a star. So to send him to the moon right now, why not give him Connor at 55? Just say, hey, let's make the fight at 155. Why not give him Connor? That would make a stadium in Spain. He becomes the next Conor McGregor. Right now.
Exactly what you just said. Kamaru hit the nail on the head. Skip all these fighters, go straight after Conor McGregor, bring him back at 155 pounds, let him fight for the BMF. Like I would give him the BMF belt. I mean, even though they put it on, and if you even hear the press conference, Dana White, even out of his own mouth, said we should have put the BMF belt on the line because you know what happens to the BMF now? Yeah, what they're gonna do a Max Holloway versus Poirier. Like it just loses juice, bro. Like the BMF. Hold on, Kush. The BMF. Every time you fight for it, it should always be on the line, and particularly against the Matador, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, it should always be on the line. And the fashion that he did it, the first 10 seconds, are you the baddest motherfucker? Come on. Here's the center of the octagon, and the guy that hasn't avoided, like he wanted to fight as he rightfully should have. But just the fact that Ilia was able to find him and actually finish him, you got to give him the BMF to because the BMF bout loses juice. It really does, bro. Because and it's sad, Kamaru, because like an MMA dude, you can go from sugar to shit real quick. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the position now where like people are now talking about Max Holloway retiring. Like you know what I'm saying? like straight up, like you go on the internet. You go on the internet.
Fans are stupid. I think it's just like these are
Why are you laughing, motherfucker?
Those types of fans are ridiculous. You lose a fight, like, and then they all, retire. You need to retire. Bro, it's a loss. It's a life. It's life. We win, we lose. That's what we do.
But these people pay the tickets. These people put our lights on. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen. I said the stupid ones. I love MMA. I love MMA because we have such a plethora of fans. We have great fans that actually study the sport, that watch the sport, and they respect the sport. They respect the fact that we put our lives on the line each and every time that we step out there for their entertainment. That 100%, I love our fans for that. But then there are the guys that just, this is their day job to get online just to talk trash about you. Hey, this and that. Hey, you lost, you should retire. Hey, you should do this, you should do that. Hey, you're fat. Hey, you're this. Hey, you're that. All the while they're sitting at home not doing much better than you. They're watching you the whole time. So those fans, stop. Let's just stop.
No, I get that. I get that, Kamaru. But where does the BMF go now? Do you agree with that?
Listen,
do you agree with me and Dana White? Is what I'm trying to tell you.
No, put the BMF on the line, guys. Why are we talking about this like this is a real title? It's not. This was a hypothetical that was made up because of me. It was made up because of me.
Okay, elaborate.
Let's not forget that.
Elaborate. Here, talk to me.
Myself and Covington were supposed to fight Myself and Covington were supposed to fight in MSG, New York, right?
Yeah.
The fight didn't happen. They needed a fight to headline that card. They needed something with some steam. It's MSG. You can't just put any fight card at MSG. You got to come correct when you go to MSG. So at that point, what's the hottest ticket out there? Guess it. Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. The hottest thing smoking. And of course, you have Nate Diaz with his mystique that he always carries. It's Nate Diaz. Of course. Nate Diaz had already called out Masvidal after his previous fight where he said, not too many gangsters doing it like him. Yeah, we should. And he did. Shout out to him for doing that. That makes
Say
a
it
fight.
again. Come on,
And so,
give me more of a soundbite, Kamaru. Come on. There ain't no West Coast gangsters
listen,
like
hey,
me.
yeah, and so Dana jumps on. How do we promote this fight? Let's create this. All right. It's called the baddest mother effer belt. Come on. Are you serious? That's why I started. But on the flip side, people are not realizing what goes on after you put this BMF on someone. What happened to the first BMF after he was labeled the first BMF?
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know? Remember what happened, Henry?
yeah. He got slapped, dude.
What
Obviously.
happened to the second BMF after he was labeled BMF?
Woo! Kamaru, preach it.
What happened to the third BMF after he was labeled BMF?
Damn, it's a curse. Shit. Well,
Hey, so the
I
thing
hope you're
is, yeah,
wrong.
I hope so too. But hey, it is what it is. I think yeah, you skip everything. You go Ilia, Topuria versus Connor if Connor wants it. If not, you let him get another title defense. And I don't mind doing Volk again. I don't mind, but I just think
No,
Volk takes Volk take the necessary time to come back. And at this moment, when you do come back, put your best foot forward. If you
yeah,
can get it done, you get it done. If you can't get it done, then you decide where you move from there. But yeah,
yeah,
that's where I see it. And for Max Holloway, I think Max, don't hold your head down, man. You did your thing. Max was touching him up a little bit, but where you go from here, Max, you move up. Go to 155 pounds. You've proven that you could hang, you could hold your own in that division. You could hold your own in that division. So go to 155 pounds. Like who wouldn't want to see a fight between Max Holloway and Dan Hooker, Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway and freaking Charles Oliveira? Who would
yeah.
like these are hey,
And
Max go up.
he has a win over Oliveira too. Did you know
So
that?
hey, yeah. So Max, move up and try to make it a home there. But
Yeah, no.
moving on, co-main event of the evening. The Reaper taking on Boars. Whitaker versus Chimaev and Henry. Remember what I told you?
Yeah, yep. Can I tell you something, Kamaru? I was wrong,
Go
dude.
ahead.
I was wrong about Khamzat Chimaev. I really was, dude. Just for the simple fact that I go back to your fight and I go back to that Gilbert Burns fight, and you start to analyze and see if these guys see how is it that he does it? How is it that he kind of fatigues in the later rounds? But he went out there. He had a great training camp. If you watch the countdown, I mean, he went to like pretty much the highest altitude in Russia. I think it's like 12,000 feet above sea level. I mean, he was training with one of the greatest Russian wrestling coaches of all time, who trained the Satiev brothers. Adam Satiev and Buvaisar Satiev. And he went out there, and like I told you that was one of the biggest things when I did do a breakdown on this. Is Chimaev, they're going to go in there, get the distance, and the only thing that I will say about Robert Whitaker is his stance was a little too wide, bro. Because he was a little too wide, it's kind of hard to it's hard to defend when your leg is completely out there. I felt like and particularly at the beginning of the fight, his stance should have been a little more narrow because he just allowed Khamzat to grab that leg to eventually go bear hug, and then obviously he got on top, started ground and pounding, and dude, he pretty much did the same thing that Khabib did to Conor McGregor. And I mean, this guy studies Khabib. Like he really does, man, because his top control is just like a top riding, very heavy up top, folk style wrestling. And then he went out there and he just pretty much face cranked him, loosened up his tooth. And I will say this, Kamaru, we need to skip Sean Strickland and we need to put Khamzat Chimaev in there because he's deserved it. If you're able to get rid of a former champion, someone who's been the gatekeeper at 205 pounds like Robert Whitaker, and to be able to do it in a round, less than a round, put him in there, get rid of Sean Strickland, and give Khamzat Chimaev that damn title shot.
You get rid of Sean Strickland. So how do you just get rid of Sean Strickland?
There's
What do you
no
do with
contract.
Sean
There's
Strickland?
no contract signed. His
Yeah, but
last
how do you
fight.
just
Hold on, hold on. His last fight with Paulo Boashinha was a snooze fest on both sides. And the UFC is different, and you know this, Kamaru. He goes in there and he gets rid of within that round. I believe on Tuesday. Khamzat Chimaev has that next title shot. Come
I
on, come at
first
me.
and foremost,
Get at me.
yes, I did tell you this is not. Everyone thought, oh yeah, you just get past round 2 and 3, and then you'll beat him in the later rounds. And I'm like,
Mood.
first and foremost, the same thing Francis said at one point. Before you get to round 2, 3, and 4, you got to get past round 1. And Khamzat Chimaev dry on your back around 1 is not easy to get off. It's not easy to get off. He's just he leaves nothing. He leaves nothing on the table. He just screw it. I'm going all in. He shot from the middle of the cage and ran him all the way to the cage. Listen, you said, "Oh well, Robert Whitaker's stance was too wide." No, I think Robert Whitaker did what Robert Whitaker does. I think his stance was great. I would rather make Khamzat Chimaev fight one leg than fight both, than let him grab both. So it was great. He just should have circled off the cage, which is very, very tough to do when this guy is full on attack to your legs like that. He just went in there, shot that double, any means necessary, snatched him down, got on the back. I actually thought Robert Whitaker did a phenomenal job of staying alive in that first, I want to say 2.5, 3 minutes. He did a great job. He was great defense. Khamzat would jump on his back, but Khamzat wasn't necessarily landing any shots. And Rob was able to just kind of stay safe enough to be able to roll whenever Khamzat threw a choke in. But Khamzat did great adjustment. He threw the hook on the inside, but he also had the arm behind. So he was himself was between Whitaker and the cage. So he took the cage away from Whitaker to be able to scrape him off. And then he was able to sink that in. And that goes to show how strong of a squeeze this freaking dude had. Listen, he was squeezing on my face like that. And you know what I did when he was squeezing on my face like that? I tried to slam his face off. When I tried to slam his face off, and I ended up almost knocking my damn self out in
Yeah.
that fight. But Khamzat, it just goes to show Khamzat Chimaev is the real. Like I said, he is special. But
Could he pull that same style against a guy who likes to wrestle against Strickus Duplessis? Because I will
one
say
thousand
this.
percent,
On top of this, I will say this. Yeah,
one
could he get him?
thousand percent.
Could he get him down 100%? But could he keep him down? The guy likes to scramble. The guy's just not going to stay there. Because I will say this: a part of where Robert Whitaker messed up too is he was staying in off force position. He was fatiguing
No,
himself.
yeah,
Hold
but
on, hold
no,
on,
but
hold on,
he.
Kamaru. Hold on, Kamaru.
Go ahead.
He was fatiguing himself in the off force position. When this guy's putting all that weight, Robert Whitaker should just went straight to his back and then started kind of like boom. It just started trying to get up, shrimping out from there. But because he stayed in that position against the cage, I mean, he was. I mean, that's fatigue. Come on, I mean, they do that in folk style wrestling, bro. You wrestled in college for 4 years. We wrestle, so we understand. Like, if you're picking up that weight, and it don't take that much time when you're on your hands and all that weight's on you, you're gonna get fatigued. And I feel like that's one area where Robert Whitaker really messed up on tactically, and that allowed Khamzat Chimaev to go in there and get this submission.
Henry, you're trying to tell me you would rather scramble on your back than on all fours, referee's position?
I would rather scramble, yes, on my back because I could see him, boom, and I could shrimp out.
Wow.
When you're in all
Wow.
force position, dude, Khabib has
Are
made
you
a
a
living
wrestler or
here.
jujitsu? Are you a wrestler or jujitsu guy?
I'm
What?
a I'm an MMA fighter now. I'm telling you. Me and Khabib Nurmagomedov talked about this. They want to make you pick up that weight. The more you pick up these guys' weight, the more they invest in that fight. Yes, go to your back, get up from the bottom this way, rather than being in an all force position where you're picking up this dude's weight and he has your whole back control. Please tell
Well,
me you agree with me on that, Kamaru. Come on.
no, I'd say I don't agree. I say
I
Robert
don't
Whitaker
agree.
did it. I think Robert Whitaker did a great job because when a guy like Khamzat Chimaev is right on you and swarming you, the best thing that you can do is stay relaxed in midst of the chaos. And I think Robert Whitaker was doing a great job at that. It's just that, hey, Khamzat is hell in that first round. He is hell when he's dry like that and he's big and strong and he still moves like a welterweight. It's hell for anybody. Do I think he can do that to Dricus? I think 100% he can take Dricus down. Can he keep him
Really,
down? I think he can keep him down, but can he
really,
get the
Kamaru.
finish? I don't know if he can get the finish because Dricus is very, very tough. There's a reason Dricus is the champ. He's very tough, and Dricus will not stop trying. So, will Hamza take him down? Yes. Could he keep him down? Yes, for maybe the whole first round. But
Yeah,
can he finish him? I don't know.
I'm gonna throw something in there, Kamaru, and please tell me if I'm off once again. I wonder if Robert Whitaker kind of lost his mind a little bit, kind of went through a little brain fart. And the only reason why I say that is because he's talked about it. He said it verbally with a guy like Israel Adesanya, how he's just mentally he wasn't there. Like when the moment came, like he just didn't shine. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. But with a guy who is a current champ right now, who is pretty mentally consistent, and Dricus Du Plessis and DDP, like he's gonna fight you through from the first second all the way to the last. So that's one thing that I will say. One about Robert Whitaker, was he 100% there? Did he have that brain fart as he has before with Israel Adesanya? And could he make that switch? Because I still believe that Robert Whitaker, if they fight again, if he's able to make those adjustments, I do believe that fight still come out that could be different. But all credit to Khamzat
Which fight?
Chimaev. All credit to
Which
Khamzat
fight?
Chimaev. Which fight? What do you mean?
What you said, you would think which fight would be different?
If
What
they
is
were
that?
to rematch again, you know what I'm saying?
With Hamzat?
Yeah, I think Robert. Obviously, if he was to make that adjustment, but it's what it is. But this is where I'm getting up credit, Kamaru.
These are
Skip.
hypotheticals, bro. Hypotheticals.
No, of
He
course,
broke
but we
his
all.
face.
Yeah, I
He
broke
broke
your
his
jaw.
face.
What did you tell him?
What
What
are
did you
you
tell
talking?
Kobe
What do you
Covington?
mean hypothetical? There's no if I came back. He broke his face.
No,
Listen, Robert
100%.
Whitaker
What I'm
did
saying is like,
it wasn't a brain fart. Robert Whitaker did a great job. He did the best that he could. He just got swarmed. He did the best he could against Adesanya, and he just got swarmed, got clipped, and put away. So there's nothing wrong. Robert Whitaker has time and time again has built himself, continues to build himself, and he will build himself back. He can still do it in this game, and they just ran into a better mind that night. So I don't take anything
what's
away
your
from
take,
that.
Kamaru? What's your take at 185 pounds? How do you see the landscape? Do you
I say
believe?
Hamza. I say you could wait do Sean Strickland next, but Hamzat's next fight will be for the title. But there's no telling how long that would be logistically because there might be some logistical issues for him to get over here and fight in Vegas or get somewhere to fight. So, we know in that region of Abu Dhabi, we're going to Abu Dhabi twice next year. We're going probably to Saudi Arabia twice next year. So, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I do think
they're talking about
he's
South
next
Africa.
fight.
They're talking about doing this event in South Africa. Like the first time that they're going to Africa, it's going to be in
It's
South
not South
Africa. So
Africa. I don't think so.
Dana,
But
did you watch? Do you watch the post press conference?
no, but I don't think it is going to be South
Exactly.
Africa. I
Let's
don't
move
think it's
on.
going to be South Africa. Let's move on. Yes, let's move on. Ankalaev fighting Alexander Rakic. And this fight played out exactly how I thought it would play out. And Henry Cejudo, once again, you were like, oh, yeah, Ankalaev is going to change level. Ankalaev does not need. Ankalaev is a fantastic fighter, fantastic striker, for sure. And that's what he's going to do. Now, the notion of everyone thinking that this guy is just going to come in there and he's going to just take his opponents down and beat him up like the other Russian counterpart brothers, like we see, like Habib, like all these guys, that's not Magomed Ankalaev. Ankalaev likes to strike. So, yes, hats off to him for going out there and doing what he needs to do. I mean, he picked it up in the later rounds and he was landing shots and he was kind of stalking him. He's following the whole round and he won the fight. But what's next for him? Of course, Alex Pereira.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch it
And
about.
what's your take on that? Go ahead. Tell me what you think.
No, 100%. One thing that I will say about Uncle Live, I'm gonna give him his flaws, but I'm also gonna give some of his flaws. His position is really good. But I also think he could do a better job when he fakes to really follow up on those fakes. He's southpaw, which is going to make it tricky for a guy like Alex Pereira. But if he decides to go on his feet with Alex Pereira, he's going to lose. So I don't know if I'm changing my vote, Kamaru, but the reality is, you're right. I'm gonna tell you, you're right. The dude doesn't use his grappling, doesn't shoot in, and sometimes when you don't respect the game, when you don't respect somebody else who has one more power than you, and he likes to kick, which every time that Rakic kicked, he landed. I mean, he was like 7 for 7. Like every time he kicked, he literally landed against Ankalaev, and that's Pereira's specialty. Even though he does have more problems with southpaws, like he did with Khalil, if it goes on the feet, I can see Ankalaev. And this is what I'm telling you. You call me an Alex Pereira hater. Not really, bro. I just like to speak the truth, and I'm edifying with Ilia Topuria that he's beat two first ballot Hall of Famers, quality versus quantity. But I'm changing my vote, and I do believe that if Alex Pereira does fight Ankalaev, I do believe what Ankalaev is saying. And there's one thing that DC brought up too: if you're not accustomed to wrestling, you're never going to do it. You're never going to do this. For that reason, Kamaru, I'm changing my vote. And I do believe that Alex Pereira gets his victory against Ankalaev.
I don't know if I like you changing your vote, Henry. I don't know if I like that. I think I need you to keep that vote. I need you to hold on to that because for so long it's been, when he goes up against a wrestler like Ankalaev, when he goes up against a wrestler like Ankalaev.
But he's not going to use it. You're right. He doesnn't use it. I figured he was going to attempt to take that against Rakic. He did use it against the Polish power.
He didn't change levels one time in this last fight. Not even a fake.
And you're in trouble because your kick defense is not that good, dude. And obviously, I got to be real. And I think the biggest thing with me, come on, I think I'm misunderstood. I just tell it how I feel like it is. And yeah, 100%. Am I wrong, dude? I've called some big fucking fights where I called it down to a T. Bilal being one of them. You know, John Jones on the strategy with Cyril Gahn, like so much, helping freaking Davidson Figueroa with the game plan against Moreno, winning a world title. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I've also been wrong. Khamzat Chimaev, I was thinking they get stopped. He gets a first round finish. But I got to see it how it is. I try to break fights down to as honest as I could take it. So that being said, I can see Pereira beating him. I really can.
But you know what? For Magomed Ankalaev, which I think he's a fantastic fighter. He could be playing us all. He could be playing us all. I do know he can grapple. I've seen him grapple at Extreme Couture. He could be playing us all and doing this. And he gets in a fight with Alex Pereira, takes him down and submits him. So listen, he's got grappling. I'm not going to say that. He doesn't. He definitely has grappling. But will he use it is the question. So I'm excited. I'm intrigued. And I hope that he gets that title shot next. I honestly do hope that he gets it next.
No, Dana White confirmed that he's next for the title.
Crazy things happen. So all I'm going to say is I hope he gets it next. I would love to see that fight.
I always feel like, Kamaru, like somebody in the UFC that's telling you shit. That's why you say shit like that, dude. Yeah, little birdie, dude.
50K Dan Ige fought LaRon Murphy, and it was a unanimous decision for LaRon Murphy. This fight was very close. I don't know if it was a unanimous. I think maybe split decision. But 50K Dan Ige, Dan, you left it in the hands of the judges. And when you do that, like they say, the judges will make you cry every time. And Dan Ige, I think it fought good. He could have done a lot better. I don't know what he was whether he was dealing with something before or after. But when Dan Ige, you definitely knew who had more power in this fight. Whenever Dan Ige landed a shot, LaRon felt it. He had LaRon drunk driving one time. And so I he did. He had him drunk driving.
Had him on skates.
Yeah, he had him drunk driving. So he had an opportunity. He could have finished the fight, but it is what it is.
Yeah, but can I tell you something though, Kamaru, on that fight? Ige lost that fight in the last minute and a half. He was controlling the majority of round 3. It was like, dude, just stay there. A lot of scrambling. And then once he went on its feet, LaRon Murphy, it seems like he caught that second winner his youth. kind of took over. He caught more of the shots. I could see why it kind of went through Laurent Murphy. Even though I tweeted, "Oh, Ige won," I could see it. That's something that 50K Ige. Obviously, he's my brother, dude. He's one of the most genuine souls you'll ever meet, dude. Like, he's the type of guy that you want to make like the godfather of your son or daughter, dude. Like, he's got that pure of a soul. But he's gonna go back and watch that fight and then be like, man, Laurent Murphy stole it in the last minute and a half to a minute, and I can't be mad at it, dude. I can't.
Right. Well, moving on. Shara Bula. What's the name? What's his last name?
Magomedov.
I mean, talk about just creativity. What a double back fist. First of all, Henry, I don't even throw back. Do you throw a back fist?
No.
I don't even to the balance to throw one, but my man threw two and got my Petrosyan out of there.
Yeah, let me see.
What?
Let me see real quick. Let me see this highlight. Look at this.
Whew.
Look at
Footwork. Yeah, great footwork. Footwork the whole fight. This combination, the creativity was ridiculous.
He reminds me so much of Zabit Kamaru.
Yes, he does. It's a bigger version of Zabit. But listen, this fight wasn't easy for him, though. Petrosyan won round one, definitely. Arguably won round two. So this was not an easy fight. Petrosyan came out there and was doing a fantastic job, was chopping him down, and he had Shara kind of hesitating to throw, especially in that first round. So I like that. That was a good step up for him. The UFC, that I think that was a good, I think Mick or Sean or Hunter, whoever made that matchup, was a fantastic matchup for him. Good step up.
Yeah.
I know at the end of the fight, he called out Israel Adesanya.
Really?
Slow your roll, buddy.
Woo.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
I think Israel's too basic, and Israel will break his foundation with kicks, dude. Like Israel, when it comes to the basics, the fakes, feints, the distance recognition, like he knows, dude. He knows how to break down a fighter. And my biggest question to Shara Magomedov, is the UFC also doing him a disservice? Could this guy one day become champion? And as of right now, because they're just hooking up with a bunch of strikers, and he's calling other strikers, I just don't think so. But he's a hell of an entertainer. I do believe that those double back fists that he was just granted knockout of the damn year. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know if all these strikers, yeah, dude,
the year,
because you've seen knockouts before. 100%, I would say so. 100%.
But Ilia Topuria has cleaned out 2 pound for, like, let's just think about that. 2 guys, Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, guys that have probably taken out 2 generations of fighters, 2 generations of different fighters.
But that's fighter of the year. That's not knockout of the year.
And you see how he was knocking them out? So,
No,
but I do, the creativity here, there's definitely an argument for this because this was spectacular. But we've also seen a lot of spectacular knockouts this year. So I would like to see how that goes.
Here it goes. Look, boom.
Bang.
One, he misses that one and then follows up with the other hand. That's why.
Crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. Dude. You're going to put that over. Of course, Ilia's power is crazy. But this? This is different, Kamaru.
You're right. You're right. There's a lot. That also, Max Holloway's knockout of the beat for the BMF title.
Oh, damn. You're going to throw Gaethje? You're going to go throw Gaethje under the bus like that, dude?
What you talking about? That's my brother. I would never throw him on the bus. I did not even say anyone's
sure sounds
name.
like it could.
I said Max. Oh, wow. Wow, you a hater, dog. You a hater. Okay, moving on. Another banging fight. I think fight of the night. Should have been fight of the night. I think is Rebecca versus, or I can't even say the last name, but my man, this fight was bloody. Both guys were like zombies going back and forth. My man's eye was closed after round 2. The doctor comes in and says, "Hey, how many figures you got up?" Of course, you always guess 2. Guess 2, got it right. The doctor let him continue, and he almost wins the damn fight. Henry, he kept pushing, and this was I would have liked to say a draw, and I would have liked to see
Really?
this one again.
Like,
Yes, I thought
really?
this one potentially was a draw, and I would have liked to see it again. But it was a fantastic fight, great. I also think fight of the night, and definitely a bloody one at that, for Henry. A really really bloody one.
Yeah, I definitely missed this one, but I'm gonna rewatch it.
Well, Henry, even though you copied me and you did one better than I did, an underdog. Listen, next week you picking first. We're gonna make sure you get your picks in first because I'm tired of you copying me and then edging me on these. So nope. But guys, as always, we want to give a big shout out to our partners at Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Of course, Underdog's pick'em game is as simple as choosing higher or lower on a variety of different stats. They've got every sport from MLB, NFL, and of course, UFC.
That's right, Kamaru. And this week for Thursday Night Football, all you customers get a CJ free pick. The Texas QB only needs 1 yard for us to win. Underdog is available in 30 plus states, including California, Texas, and New York.
Use code P4P, that's pound for pound, when you sign up to support the show. Click the link down below to get started. And Henry, before we go, I just want to say, I just might be ready to start risking an egg on our picks. You hear me?
Let's go, dude. Talk is cheap.
I said I just might be, but guys, this has been fun. As always, I'm the Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, aka Triple C.
And we are out.